NC State recovering from a loss to Syracuse. And UNC is gearing up for its next big game against Miami. We enter the Logan zone with former ECU and NFL coach Steve Logan to get us all caught up on the weekend games and your perspective. First, let's start with that big game, NC State and Syracuse. Syracuse, their first ACC game, and they did pretty well.
They didn't even blink, did they? I coached against Syracuse many years back, all through the 90s, almost every year, and what you know when you line up against Syracuse, you better bring your boxing gloves because it's going to be a fist fight. Those are tough kids. It's a tough mentality up there. And, you know, as far as NC State goes, it all gets back. You've got to get the quarterback situation stabilized. They had the injury to Brandon Mitchell early in the year. It looks like they held him out of this game. They've got the open date now, so they've really got 2 weeks to get him totally healthy, get re-geared, and make a run down the stretch now.
Looking at Duke now, big win over Navy, and looks like they're looking like a pretty good team right now. Could they go back to another bowl game?
You know what? Right now, really in the state of North Carolina, Duke University right now has got the best-looking football team collectively, particularly with Anthony Boone back. Listen, it's the quarterback, the quarterback, the quarterback. Let's get that straight. Anthony Boone came in, and boy, did he put on a show. And it made their football team look better. I think Coach Cutcliffe even said it was the best all-around performance they've had at Duke since he's been there, and I believe it was.
On to East Carolina now. This was a disappointing loss against Tulane. Tell us what went wrong in this game.
Well, this was the hangover effect that finally caught up with East Carolina, and they were in position to win the football game. I think their field goal kicker missed a field goal to win it in regulation, then a couple of them in overtime. So it was just one of those situations. I know this. I have taken a football team into the Superdome to play Tulane in front of nobody because nobody comes to those games, and it's an upside-down home field advantage because it's just not an electric atmosphere. There's not a lot of energy. We enjoyed that same kind of effect when I was coaching at Boston College. Small stadium, not a big crowd, and teams would routinely come into Boston College, and we would bring the energy. They wouldn't. And that's exactly what East Carolina walked into in the Superdome. It's happened to me as the head coach at East Carolina. It's a tough gig.
All right, UNC getting ready for a big game on Thursday against Miami. It's been dubbed Zero Dark Thursday, unveiling these black uniforms. Number one, what do you think of the big, to do about uniforms this year? And then what's UNC going to face?
Oregon University's ruined football, in Steve Logan's opinion. It's all about the fashion statement now. What helmets are we going to wear? You know, what's our top going to be? What's our bottom going to be? For crying out loud, would you just put your uniforms on and let's get back to playing football? It's just the craziest thing, but you almost have to do it now because it's a recruiting tool. And the kids now that you're recruiting are wired into that. So when you bring them on campus, suddenly you got to show them you got 7 different football helmets that you can wear on any given night. But that's the nature of the beast these days. But here's what I would be worried about. Let's go play some good football. You got a good football team coming to town and you're on national television. You better wake up, UNC, and let's get back to playing some good football and put a good product on the field Thursday night in front of the whole nation.
Yeah, otherwise the shiny helmets don't matter.
No, the shiny helmets really don't matter.
Get back to the dirty old stinky kind. All right. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Off to radio now.
On to the radio.
Coach Logan joins us every Monday morning to give us a coach's perspective on the weekend games and the upcoming games. You can join us Mondays at 6:25 for the Logan Zone.